by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas, tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes will seek out chances to do good. A world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take. A world where we will be as free as any bird flying in the sky, where peace prevails. That's what I dream for you and me, moved by the light of love, no longer dimmed by who we were. We'll rise into what we are meant to be, among flowers shining with the glow of supernovas, tokens of that endless love God feels for us. That's what I dream. I dream a new day is going to dawn, the rising of a different world, where eyes will seek out chances to do good. A world of peace and brotherhood awaits the change that we can make. And changing our hearts is the first step we must take.
Hello, brothers and sisters of my heart. My name is Publio. I'm going to play and sing a couple of songs to help me, to help you, to help us to harmonize ourselves, to prepare for the Spiritism talk tonight. So the first song called Vibration, and goes like this. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate sincerity. Our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Now, song to Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades flowing down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades flowing down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my Mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Now I'm gonna sing a song that really calmed me down. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound of the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Body harmonizes, how well done lay the head. Music lifts his spirits in sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In joy and peace, my heart finds its way. If I close my eyes gonna sing a song, Good Old Man. It's about our protector, our mentor, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our praise and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our praise and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Spirit Talk. We thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. As usual, we ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then, after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with your water to be magnetized. Our meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference Americas through their Facebook and also every Saturday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. For those who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know to Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. A new class started on February, but there is still time to join. So everyone is welcome to come together with us to learn more about Spiritism. Find the registration link in our chat. We offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. And we will motivate you and guide in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home study meetings. By posting the chat, you can request it. Please let us know. So you can come again, like to the previous slide. Thank you. So we would like to inform that this month, on the 23rd and 24th of May, we're gonna have Alta de Souza Fraternal Meeting. It's gonna be in Oshawa, Ontario. So everyone is invited to come here. It's gonna be in person. The registration is free, so free of charge. So everyone is welcome to join us. People who are like in Ontario or everywhere in United States, we are gonna get some people from Winnipeg, from Alabama, so from Toronto, London, Ontario. So everyone is invited to come here. There will be 2 days that we're gonna have like lots of activities, practical activities as well. We're gonna have Alta de Souza Food Drive, which is very good, and it is spiritual care for all of us. Okay, so everyone is welcome to come and invited as well. Okay, we are gonna put the registration link in the chat as well. So before I speak a little bit about the tonight's spirit talk, we would like to say that you are welcome to include your someone else's names on the list of positive vibration for incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by the good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. So in the chat, you can find the link and you can add the names for incarnate or discarnate. Now, we are going to talk about the today's special meeting, which will be mental health and spiritism. And it will be facilitated by our sister Maria Mesquita from US. So everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. Now we would like to invite our tonight's speaker. And actually, I'm going to do the opening prayer and then I'm going to invite her to come. Okay? So before Maria comes here, I'm going to do our opening prayer. So I invite everyone to close your eyes and elevate our thoughts, and let's calm our hearts, our minds, and let's thank God for the opportunity to be here one more Tuesday. Let's thank God for everything He has done for us. Thank Lord for your mercy, for your love, for your forgiveness, for your protection, for your light, and for the guidance that we have. Because the God's law is in our conscience. So we have this guidance. Thank you for everything. Thank you for our health, for our family, our friends, for all the things that happen in our lives, even the ones that we don't understand, but we know that there is a reason for everything. So we trust in you, God. We ask you to inspire our tonight's speaker, and may everyone, incarnate or discarnate, can receive all the benefits from this talk and for the spiritual care after that, and may we can end this night much better than when we started. And once again, we ask you to be with us today and always. So be it. So now, I invited our tonight's speaker, Maria. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you. So first of all, I would like to thank you all for the invitation, as well as I would like to congratulate you all that organized this wonderful channel here. So important for Spiritism in English. So congratulations, so organized, and I'm very impressed.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm gonna leave you here and I'll be back when you're done. Okay? I'll
Okay,
see you later. Bye.
see you later. Well, so tonight we're going to talk about mental health and spiritism. So, mental health is a very important topic. It has always been, but it has gained more attention recently, especially from, I'm going to cite WHO, which is the World Health Organization. Um, so, for a while now, the WHO is focusing on mental health and trying to create campaigns and initiatives to improve mental health. So, initially, I'm going to talk a little bit about what mental health is, what health is, what some research that is happening now is suggesting for improvement of mental health. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Spiritism and see if Spiritism is in accordance to the organization's instructions about improving mental health. So before we talk about mental health, we need to talk about health, right? So what is health? And I'm going to cite WHO a lot. So WHO defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So this is very important because many times we think about health and we think about just the physical health. We forget that mental is very important as well as social is very important. If you are isolated, uh, you are not healthy. You can't be healthy if you are not part of a society, if you're not a part of communities, right? And it's not the absence of disease. And that's usually what we think about. Well, nothing's going on, I'm healthy. So it's a little bit more than that. What about mental health? Um, so, mental health is described by WHO as a state of well being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. And as you can see, mental health is a lot more than what sometimes we think, right? Is more than the absence of mental illness, and it is vital to individuals, families, and societies. Because this concept that we just saw is very complex, I would like to break down so we can understand each aspect of it. Um, So, first, in the definition, they talk about mental health is a state of well being. So, what is well being? Well being encompasses quality of life and the ability of people and societies to contribute to the world with a sense of meaning and purpose. So, just this is amazing how complex this definition is and how much we need to pay attention to even our own health and the ones around us, because just the lack of ability to contribute to the world will indicate mental illness according to WHO. Now continue a little bit. It talks about well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities. So here I put a little bit of things that we learn from Spiritism that are in accordance to this definition, because we are instructed to first self knowledge, to know about ourselves, to know the purpose of life, which is basically evolving, improving, um, trying to be better people. This will be the general purpose of life. But each one of us has our own purpose of life. So, what is important for me, Maria? What is important for each one of you? So, this is very important that we find to achieve mental health according to who? In my own goals in life. If my purpose is so and so, how am I going to achieve that? And this is all part of this definition of mental health. Continuing, they say a person that can cope with the normal stresses of life. Well, so mental health is not having stresses, because we have a lot of stress in our lives. Life is stressful. We know Spiritism teaches us that we are inferior spirits. We are very far from being perfect, very far from being angelical. So, because of our faults and our mistakes, we are going to experience even more problems. And also that we are living on a planet of trials and expiations. So, what will be our expectation about life? That we are going to face problems, stresses, and I'm going to bring a few types of stresses that we can experience. So stress can be common from daily life and can be very extreme. So a few examples would be work and school, financial pressures, relationships, life transitions, daily hassles, just like traffic, managing technology that not always work, um, keeping up with our schedules, and so on. So each one of us faces stresses on a daily basis, but those stresses should not be able to take away our mental health. So if we are giving too much importance to these stresses or not dealing well with them, we are going to fall into mental illness potentially, right? Because now we are seeing mental illness as something way beyond what we think about a crazy person as has a mental illness. There's a lot more. It's more common than what we think. Perhaps we are experiencing a little bit of mental illness as we are speaking now. Examples of extreme stresses of life will be significant losses, death of a loved person, going through divorce. What we all faced during the pandemic is definitely, I would count as an extreme stress in our lives. A life-changing accident, moving to a different country, and I know that many of us here experience this, right? And sometimes it takes many years for us to even get used to a different country, different language, different habits and everything. Missing home, missing our country, our family. So this is all stressful, and it's important that we learn how to deal with these without saying, oh, this is the reason why um, I have problems, because we should know that these things are common in our lives. So a few ways to deal with normal stresses, or to deal in a normal way, would be that these stresses will be temporary. So let's say you are in school, and you know that when you are done with school, that type of stress will go away. Passing the exam, finishing a project, or physical and emotional reaction, like involves temporary anxiety, frustration, or fatigue, but it shouldn't create something that is permanent. Let's say we have something happened and now it's been years and we are keeping that to ourselves instead of processing it, that is a red flag. It should be motivational or motivating. For example, you know that you can meet deadlines. If this is a challenge, right? I'm in school or I am an immigrant, I'm going to face this in a good way and I'm going to overcome these challenges. It's always important to have that optimistic view. Other stresses that we as spiritists know that not everybody studies is that we also have debts from previous lives, things that we don't remember that are in our conscience that we sometimes don't even know. And this is very important because if you don't know spiritism, sometimes you think, why do I have this if there's no reason? Or why does my mother have this if there's no apparent reason? It could be from previous lives, problems that we had, traumas that we had in previous lives. We also know about the need for self-improvement, which is a good thing, right? We know about self-improvement, but sometimes we are on top of ourselves, and many times we are not understanding of our own faults, and this is important as well. We are also co-creators. We know that God created uh, the universe, the spirits, and everything, but we are also co-creators. So we need to help in the work of God. In other words, we should cooperate. And we know that sometimes spiritists think, oh, what should I be doing? I should be helping. And this could be one reason for stress as well. However, again, we should know that it should be temporary. If it takes too long to go away, it's probably not healthy. And then who continues the definition? So all of what we already said, but it says can work productively and fruitfully, right? So what will be productive? Achieving or producing a significant amount or result. So imagine us as an individual, we should see our production. We should see results of what we are doing. And that's interesting. Let's say if you're raising a child, it's very important to encourage the child, recognize the achievements, because that's one of the reasons why we are we have that well-being, because we feel like we are productive. And fruitful, very similar, producing good and helpful results, productive, right? So even little projects, if you are not like doing anything major, do little things that you can see the results, that can definitely help in the mental health. Continuing here, working productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. And I found this very interesting because many times we don't know or we don't realize that we should be part of a community. If you don't feel like part of a community, it might be the door for mental illness, because you're going to feel like you don't belong, you don't have people to relate to, so that could be a problem. So it is not only centered in self, it involves a community where we are inserted in. So let's say we want to live in the mountains by ourselves. It's going to be very hard to find mental health, because it is part of what gives us this well-being, is being part of a healthy community. So some of the communities that we are part of, geographical, the states that we live in, the town, interests, passion, let's say I play soccer, or I do something that other people do as well. So I'm part of that community, communities of support, circumstances, something that, oh, right now I have my kid plays volleyball in the high school. So all of a sudden, I'm part of a group of mothers of seniors playing volleyball, right? So it's interesting. Workplace, professional, digital, virtual. Nowadays, we have friends online. I just met some new people today here virtually, and I'm being part of this community. Cultural, identity based, the Brazilians, the immigrants, right? So feeling part of a community is also essential. Being accepted in that community, accepting others, contributing to that community, right? So it's important that we find our community. There will be communities that we are part of. And one thing that I always talk about is when somebody tells me, oh, I'm lonely, um, I always think about religion, because in my life, religion was always that community that was welcoming, and that I could find people that of all sorts of backgrounds, but that were nice to me and welcoming. Whatever is your religion, right? And sometimes, if you're not religion, can be something else, not necessarily a religion. So now one of the questions: how can spiritism or spirituality or religion help? And I put here on purpose because spiritism is one religion, right? It could be, maybe other religions will also do this exactly same thing, and I do believe that's true. So I'm going to put here a few um, Spiritist teachings that will help us with dealing with our stress and understanding life in this planet. So the first question I selected is 920 of the Spirit's book. So Kardec asks, can human beings enjoy perfect happiness on earth? And the answer is no. Why? First, we don't belong to this planet. We are not perfect beings yet. To enjoy a perfect happiness, we're going to have to be perfect beings, because most of our problems come from our own mistakes. And it leads us to the next question. We understand that human beings will be happy on earth when the human race has been transformed. Meanwhile, can people ensure a moderate amount of happiness for themselves? Because we know we are not going to be completely happy, but can I search or try to be happy as I can be? And the Spirit's answer: human beings are often the architects of their own unhappiness. If they obey God's laws, they spare themselves much sorrow and also secure all the happiness corresponding with the human condition. So, let's say if I am an envious person, obviously I'm not going to be very happy, because if people around me are happy and I'm envious, other people's happiness is going to create unhappiness, insatisfaction inside of me. I'm only going to be happy when other people are happy when I'm not envious anymore. So let's remember this in mental disease and even lack of well-being. Many times the cause is ourselves. Our next slide goes a little bit more into the notion, I'm not going to read, but in the notion that we are, this life on earth is very temporary. We are here, and the spirits use, we are in a sleepover at an awful hotel. So as spiritists, we should remember this. This is temporary. A disease is temporary. Anything that is not part of who we are is temporary, even though our mistakes, our faults are also temporary, because eventually we're going to evolve. Now, another question of the Spirit's book, very related to the happiness, because well-being, right? I am correlating to happiness here in the Spirit's book. So, question 922. Earthly happiness is relative to each person's position, so that what suffices for the happiness of one can be the cause of misfortune for another. Is there a common standard of happiness for everyone? So everybody has a different idea of what's happiness, right? So Allan Kardec is asking, is there a standard of happiness? Something that we should look for? And the answer is, with regard to material life, it is the possession of what is necessary for survival. With regard to moral life, it is the possession of a good conscience and the belief in a future life. So, this is a very simple, easy answer, but it's very profound. So, if we are looking for possession of a lot more than what we need for survival, we might be wasting our resources. And it might even be the reason for stress and the reason for our unhappiness. And morally, it should be the possession of a good conscience and the belief in the future life. So if you remember the definition of mental health, good conscience will come with working productively, working fruitfully, helping with the community. So I'm trying to make a relationship between what Spiritism says and what we just read about mental health. Continuing, another question here. So, does civilization, by creating new ones, become the source of new afflictions? And it's related to the last answer. The problems of your world, are proportional to the artificial ones that you create for yourselves. People who are able to set limits on their desires and see what is above them without feeling envy spare themselves many disappointments. The richest person is the one with the fewest needs. So here I want to bring the reflection of many times we create wants, we create needs. We basically believe that we need more than what we need. And that creates our own fall, because sometimes we are chasing something that is irrelevant. We are valuing, for example, for our children, their education more than being part of society, being helpful, being part of communities, right? I just thought about this. What is the first community we are part of? Our family, right? The first community, being helpful in the family, being nice to each other, being understanding. So we can have that sense of well-being. And when something is missing, we are not going to be happy. That's the consequence. And now I'm going to talk about Jesus, right? So Jesus came to earth with one mission, to give us a sense of our meaning, of how to find happiness, how to improve the world. I'm not going to read this parable because this parable is very known, right? It's Matthew chapter 25th. And it's a parable about this king that is going to decide who's going to sit on his right, who is going to sit on his left. And he said, who's going to sit on my right is the ones that fed me when I was hungry, that gave me clothes when I was needing clothes, when I was cold, when I was gave me shelter when I didn't have a home, when I was a stranger that invited me in. And then those people say, but I never saw you in that situation. And Jesus said, every time the king said, right? That's the parable from Jesus, that every time you did this to any of the other ones, the other people, you did to me, right? And this is the summary of Jesus' teachings, to help others. And it's amazing because if you go to the definition of mental health, this will solve the problem because it creates the well-being, it creates the community, it creates empathy, it creates the lack of attention to self and more attention to others, right? So now I would like to finish with a little bit of science that is trying to understand ways to improve mental health, right? So prevalent these days. So I'm going to bring here, I'm not sure if it's going to work through this. It's an audio. Do you think this is going to work, guys? Marceli?
Sorry?
So I have an audio that I would like to play. Maybe I'll play on my computer and see if you guys can hear. Okay?
Yeah, you can try. Let's see. I can tell you here. You
Okay,
play.
let's try here.
It's that time of year when it's customary to be a little nicer, show a little kindness. Well, here's something interesting. Research shows that when kindness becomes a habit, it's also good for our health. NPR health correspondent Maria Godoy is here to explain that all. Good morning. Good morning, Asma. Maria, let's start with the science. What does it mean that kindness can actually improve our health? Well, it might not surprise you to know that when we take actions to help others, it's good for our mental health. It can make us happier and feel like we're contributing to the world. But there's also growing research showing these acts of caring for others can actually make us physically healthier too.
Like what kind of physical benefits?
Well, so there's lots of evidence linking kindness in the form of things like volunteering or helping a neighbor, for example, to living longer and healthier as we age. Some of the most striking evidence comes from something called the Baltimore Experience Corps trial. It was this large experiment where older adults were randomly assigned to either volunteer at elementary schools for 2 years, or they were put on a wait list. And it was pretty intense, about 15 hours a week. After 2 years, they found that the volunteers had better brain function.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Here's Tara Grunwald. She's a health psychologist at Chapman University and one of the study researchers.
They didn't experience declines in memory and executive function like we saw in our controlled participants. And there were even changes in brain volume in areas of the brain that support these different cognitive processes.
So you could actually see the changes on a brain scan. The volunteers also said they felt like they were making a difference in people's lives. And we know from other research that when you are doing something meaningful, it's good for your mental health too.
Do researchers know why our bodies might respond this way?
Yeah, they don't know for sure. There's probably several things going on. Laura Kubzansky is a professor at Harvard. She studies the interplay between physical and mental health. And she says stress causes a cascade of reactions in your body that can drive up blood pressure and lead to all sorts of bad things. Kubzansky says volunteering may help buffer that stress response.
Volunteering or doing an act of kindness can distract you from some of the problems that you might be having, so you might be a little bit less reactive yourself, or it may help to give you more perspective on what your own problems are.
It may also make you more physically active when you go out to help others and less lonely, which we also know is bad for health, especially as we age.
I mean, it sounds like acts of kindness are certainly good, you're saying, for older people's health. Do they also help younger people as well?
There's a lot less evidence in kids and teens, but one study that really stands out involved high schoolers who were randomly assigned to volunteer for 10 weeks with elementary school kids. And these teens also saw health benefits. Here's Julia Bain. She's a psychologist at Chapman University.
Those students who were engaged in volunteering activities with younger students showed healthier body mass index, healthier inflammatory markers, and healthier total cholesterol.
In other words, when compared to the students who didn't volunteer, they had signs of better heart health. And there's also evidence in adults linking these kinds of helping behaviors to a lower risk of cardiovascular disease.
So it sounds like what you're saying is when we help others, we really do help ourselves.
Exactly.
That's NPR health correspondent Maria Godoy. Thanks for your reporting.
Could you guys hear?
Yes.
Okay. So I thought that was very interesting research showing the benefits of what Jesus told us to do and what we kind of learn about it. So just a summary here of what she said. So things that were physically measured. This is real research. They measure blood pressure, they measure cholesterol, the body mass index, and so on. So reduce mortality and increase overall functioning, better mental, physical, and cognitive health in older adults, improve social capital benefits, public health, and decrease health inequalities. Children who volunteer are less likely to experience anxiety and behavioral problems. And one meta-analysis revealed that regularly volunteering has positive effects on depression, life satisfaction, and well-being. And the reference is there. If anybody would like to have these slides, I'll gladly share. What about children and teens, right? Many of us here are parents, and I, as a mother, always thinking about my kids' well-being. They are well in school, they are well physically, but what about their mental health? So volunteering, and this is part of one of research from 2023. Volunteering with your children will not only build a healthy habit that can contribute to their own physical and mental health benefits. Research shows that children and teens who volunteer are less likely to experience anxiety and behavioral problems, and that it can even reduce feelings of social isolation, which are particularly salient in adolescents. For teens, volunteering is associated with a decrease in risky health behaviors and depressive symptoms in adulthood. And let's remember the definition again, right? Volunteering creates a community, you can see the result. And that's something else that I tell people that tell me, oh, I'm depressive and this and that. Go help someone, because you're going to see the immediate result of a smile, of a hug, of something that sometimes you have plenty and people lack. From another research, family bonds can be strengthened by regularly volunteering together. In a time when few families gather around the dining table each night, and the most common shared activity among family members is watching television, volunteering provides a meaningful way for families to connect with each other and their communities. And to almost end here, I would like to suggest a book for who has small children. This is a book, it's a reading picture book that the name is Yours, Mine, Ours, a celebration of service and community with young children can inspire, reading this type of books can inspire them to come up with their own ideas about ways to give back to others through volunteering and acts of kindness. This book in particular was co-authored by the late Arun Gandhi, which is a grandchild of Mahatma Gandhi. The story imparts the value of nonviolence and service, values that parents can begin passing down to their children from the start. So sometimes we teach math and we teach about the universe, we teach about so many things, and many times we forget to teach our children, the value of being forgiving, of being understanding, of helping others, helping your friends in school, being accepting of new people in your school, for example. In our last slide is a quote from Benjamin Franklin. So Benjamin Franklin, he believed, he's a very smart man, he believed that the secrets should be in our conscience, because he believed if God is just and good, there must be a way that we by ourselves, with nobody's help, we could get to know, get to understand what we need to do to be happy, to thrive, and to understand God and the creation. So all his teachings came from his own mind and his own reflection. And he defines serving God as doing good to man. So a lot of indications that mental health and even the secret, the key of our happiness will be to look outside ourselves and to make real effort to spread this news that if you are too concerned about your stresses, thinking too much about the difficulties, it's probably time for you to look outside, look at other people's needs, and do good to other people. And in this way, you're going to improve your mental health, your physical health, as we saw on the research cited here, and make the world a better place. So I hope I tried to rush. Uh, I was able to bring a healthy reflection for the evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And in September, we're going to have a meeting that talks exactly about this subject, which is kindness is the only way. And we're going to talk about ways to help our community and to be kind and to help. There's so many people suffering and sometimes with nobody to help. So we could be that person. And as the reporter said, so helping others is helping ourselves. So let's help ourselves. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Maria. It was beautiful, very beautiful, your presentation, your reflections, and you like end up your presentation in a very beautiful way, right? So we do have one question. We have some comments on, but we have one question here from our brother Publio. He's saying, the consoling aspect of Spiritism had been helping the mental health since 1857. Nowadays, with the stress level upright, how Spiritism can improve and help more people?
Well, that's a great question. I think it could help more people if it reaches more people. And that's probably one of the little goals that should be in our lives as spiritists, to kind of spread the word for who needs to listen or for who is searching, right? Who is already happy and is not looking for answers. That's fine, but I'm sure there are people that want to know that life doesn't end with physical death, that this world is not all we have, that our problems, sometimes even a fatal disease, is not the end of the world, even though it might seem that way. So Spiritism in the books cannot help people, right? We are blessed to know Spiritism, but I think doing what you guys are doing, having the opportunity for people to learn a little bit about Spiritism. And I applaud you for this initiative. This is one of the ways, disseminating Spiritism.
Thank you so much. It was great, great. Yeah. And we have like other comments there, like Anna, she is from US too, you know her. She's like saying, it's so good to see Maria. Thank you, friend, for organizing this important event. And like we have other comments here. And we thank you again for coming. And please come back many more times because it was wonderful, your talk.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. You have a great night, Maria. Thank you. Okay, so we thank everyone for the participation in the chat. Okay, and once again, we thank Maria for this beautiful talk. And now we're going to move for the preparation for the tonight's spiritual care. So PASS is the transfusion of assisting, transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, or mental balance. PASS help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from PASS, please follow the audio instruction or remain in prayer. It may help if you help, like you can close your eyes to help with mentalization. And during the PASS, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. So we will now make a prayer in preparation for the PASS, which will be our closing prayer as well. Okay, so once again, I invite everyone to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And let's thank God for this beautiful talk that we just had, for all this reflection that our sister brought to us, which is so important to take care of our mental health, our emotional health. So may the good spirits can reach each one of us and help in all the necessities that we have at this moment. May our struggles can be we can be helped with our struggles, and may we can strong our faith and knowing that God is in charge of everything and his will is much better than ours. So let's thank for all the good energies that we are receiving during this night, and may we can have a good weekend, a good week. May God can help us, help our family, friend, and all the humanity, especially all the names, all the people whose name are on the vibration list. May they can be reached and helped with much love and care. And please, God, we ask you once again to be with us today and forever. So be it.
Let's get ready for the PASS and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position, which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capharnaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concaffers Americas at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and next Saturday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. So don't forget to follow Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Spiritist group Path of Light on Facebook as well. Have a great night and see you next week.
Someone told me long ago that life is So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. I want